Tonight on a brand new season of Sports Paws. It was an action-packed summer for Quinnipiac athletics. Q30's Anthony Davila has the whole recap.
Quinnipiac women's soccer team had their home opener this past weekend against the ACC foe, the Syracuse Orange.
And the Quinnipiac volleyball team, they're headed to the Windy City to compete in the Bradley Invitational.
All that and more coming up on Sports Paws right now.
Inside Studio 125 to a brand new season of Sports Paws. My name is Ben Rickevicius, and I'm joined alongside Spencer Decker. A new season of Quinnipiac athletics is upon us. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you, Spencer?
I'm going to go at an 8.8, Ben. I'm very excited for the season.
I like that. I think I'd give it a 9. Before we get into the latest in the Quinnipiac sports world, there was some major news that is shaking the entire landscape of college athletics.
That's right, Ben. The NCAA house settlement was finalized this summer. A legal agreement resolves claims by former college athletes that the NCAA unlawfully had them earning money from their name, image, and likeness rights. Athletes now have the chance to get paid directly from their universities. In a statement from Greg Amodio to Q30 Sports, he said, quote, "This decision reflects our institutional commitment to fully support our student athletes as they strive to achieve their competitive and academic goals. In light of the evolving landscape of intercollegiate athletics and the recent approval of the house settlement, Quinnipiac University has made the decision to opt into the terms of the settlement."
This will have an immediate impact in Hamden. Amodio said via the Roar podcast the number of hockey scholarships is being raised from 18 to 26, and that will help the Bobcats remain competitive.
You know, Ben, it might have been summer, but that doesn't mean there wasn't any Quinnipiac news.
Absolutely not, Spencer. Between alumna winning the ESPYs and current Bobcats competing at the national stage, Q30's Rose Carrotta is here to fill us in on all the highlights from the summer.
Thanks, guys. There was a lot of news over the summer, so let's get right into it. On Wednesday, July 16th, Alona Marr was honored with the ESPY Award for Best Breakthrough Athlete. Marr played rugby with the Bobcats from the 2015 to 2017 seasons and went viral for her speech at the ESPYs.
You know, take up space, pitch it faster, run harder, put another plate on the bar, and never tone it down. Thank you so much.
July 18th, Quinnipiac women's basketball captain Jackie Grisdale represented Team USA at the 2025 FISU World University Games, where they took home a bronze medal. Grisdale led the team in player value in 3 of the 4 matchups, posting a 10.0 versus South Africa. Acrobatics and tumbling took a huge step forward over the summer. The NCAA Committee on Women's Athletics voted to recommend all 3 divisions to sponsor legislation to establish an NCAA championship. If the proposal is passed, then the first NCAA championship will be held in the spring of 2027. During the NHL draft, 2 Quinnipiac men's ice hockey first years were selected. Ethan Wittenbach was selected 144th overall by the Calgary Flames. Wittenbach spent the last season in the USHL, recording 51 points in 44 games. Matthew Lansing was the 207th overall selection by the Vancouver Canucks. He participated in the U18 World Junior Championship this past year. During the PWHL draft, 4 former Bobcats had the privilege of hearing their names called. Kendall Cooper highlights the list as she became the highest draft pick in program history, being selected 6th overall by the Minnesota Frost. She also holds the most points by a defenseman in Quinnipiac history. On top of that, Cooper took home 5 All-ECAC selections and finished 4th on the all-time points list. Maya Labad followed at pick 36 to her hometown team, the Montreal Victoire. Maddie Samiskevich 3 picks later at 39th to Vancouver. She will be joining one of the 2 new expansion teams. Kaylee Doyle was selected at 41st by the Sirens, Doyle being the last Bobcat taken on the board and the 4th goalie to go in the draft. Sophomore Elliot Gronwald was selected for the 2025 USA Hockey World Junior Summer Showcase at the Ryder Arena in Minneapolis, Minnesota. He was among 14 defensemen to get an invite for Team USA and the only Bobcat to attend the showcase. Both ice hockey teams added to their staff over the summer, as Kasten Sommer will be joining the men's ice hockey staff as an assistant coach. Sommer is a former Holy Cross associate head coach. The women's ice hockey team welcomed former co-captain Sadie Peart as the new director of operations and player development. The Quinnipiac men's ice hockey team announced their new leadership group for the 2025-26 season, headlined by senior forward Victor Trinexionaire. Being named captain will be his fourth season in Hamden. The three alternates to accompany Trinexionaire are Charlie Letty, Mason Marcellus, and Jeremy Wilmer. They will all share this massive achievement for the 50th anniversary season. Some former Bobcats made a summer splash as well. Zach Metza, a Bobcat from 2019 to 2023, signed a two-way contract with the Buffalo Sabres. Wyatt Bongiovanni was with the Bobcats from 2018 to 2022 and served as a captain in the 2021 to 22 season. He is now signed on a two-way contract with the Ottawa Senators. Skylar Brindamore, on a two-way contract with the Carolina Hurricanes, will be reuniting with his dad in the upcoming NHL season. Yanni Peretz joining the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, Jaden Lee joining the Abbotsford Canucks. Connecticut native Cooper Moore will stay home as he joins the Hartford Wolfpack. The Quinnipiac Acrobatics and Tumbling team announced the return of a former athlete, Nicolette Tianga, who graduated in 2023. Tianga said, quote, "I'm grateful to QU for welcoming me back with open arms. I'm a Bobcat for life," end quote. Tianga will serve as the assistant coach for the 2025 to 2026 season. The Quinnipiac lacrosse program added Grace Briggs as a new assistant coach to help bolster their program. Briggs spent the last season as a member on the Wofford College coaching staff, focusing on the defensive end where she helped set numerous school stat records. Wofford also sent a school record 9 wins on top of their individual stat records. Now that's all the summer news I've got. Ben and Spencer, back to you guys on the desk.
Thanks, Rose. After a successful season last year, Quinnipiac women's soccer had their name on some preseason awards. The Bobcats were placed second with 2 first-place votes in the MAC preseason poll. The rivals up north, the Fairfield Stags, took first with 8 first-place votes, followed by Siena, Canisius, and Sacred Heart in the top 5. Manhattan, Merrimack, Iona, Ryder, and Marist make the top 10.
Quinnipiac also received some recognition on the all-conference preseason team. Senior defender Madison Alves was named to the preseason All-MAC team. The Rhode Island native registered 10 points with 3 goals and 4 assists in 2024. Alves was reliable for the Bobcats, starting in all 22 games last season. Alves was also named to the All-MAC second team in 2024. As far as the team last season, they've had a tough start to start the regular season for the Quinnipiac women's soccer team. 2 road losses to Hofstra and Stony Brook. The Bobcats, they look to earn their first win of the season against the Syracuse Orange on Thursday. First ever meeting in program history between the Bobcats and Orange. Hot start to the season for Cuse. They've taken 3 out of their first 4 games. The Bobcats are going to get the first good look of this one. Melina Bronco takes a shot from just outside the box. It sails to the left and will stay scoreless. 30 minutes of play later, a look for the Orange. Julia R. Pizel takes a straight-away shot, but Gwen Hoyt collects the save. And Syracuse, against the end of the clock in the first half, Madison Alves cuts off the attack, and we stay knotted at 0-0 at intermission. 9 minutes into the second, it's the Gwen Hoyt show. First knocking this ball away from the attacker, another nice quick save inside the box, and then to follow it up on the corner kick, she scoops up the Syracuse header. We're still knotted at 0-0, but here comes the scoring. Good placement on the QU corner kick finds Alves for a nice volley into the net. First points of the season for the senior, and then Cuse answers right away. A minute later, Mia Clammer scoring on a free kick. It's her 4th goal of the season, and it ends in a 1-1 tie.
Bobcats had to turn the corner quickly on Monday for a matchup against the Long Island Sharks. The Sharks got on the board and didn't look back as they took down Quinnipiac 2-0. Izzy Stein scored in the 19th minute for LIU, giving them an early lead. 3 minutes out of the half, LIU extended their lead off a goal from Betty Hall, adding some insurance. The Bobcats are back in action when they return home for their first MAC game on Saturday versus Ryder. Before Quinnipiac volleyball started their season, the MAC preseason polls were released. And the Bobcats were selected second in the poll. Quinnipiac finished just 5 points behind the Fairfield Stags, who sit in first after last year's MAC title. Ryder, sitting in third, also earned 1 first-place vote. Sacred Heart and Canisius round out the top 5, followed by Niagara and Iona in 6th and 7th. Marist and Merrimack end up being tied for 8th with 57 points each.
In addition to a high placement in the poll, the Bobcats also have some more to celebrate going into the season. Opposite hitter Alana Giacomini was named the MAC Preseason Player of the Year. The Italian led the team with 486 kills and finished third in service aces with 35. This is the second year in a row a Bobcat has been named the Preseason Player of the Year, with Ginevra Giovaglione taking the honor home last season. Giacomini also was named to the preseason All-MAC team alongside two of her teammates. Giovaglione and senior setter Dominic Ganesh were also named to the All-Conference preseason team. Ganesh led the team with 963 assists, and Giovaglione appeared in 4 matches in 2024. Well, that brings us to our first commercial break of the night, but when we return, the Quinnipiac field hockey team kicks off its season against Holy Cross in Bucknell, trying to have a strong start to the season. Spencer, they struggled a little bit at the beginning of last season.
Yeah, field hockey looking good, and the men's soccer team starts the 2025 season on the road. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back here on Sports Paws.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to Dad.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Life's daily battles are not meant to be fought alone.
We're not powerless, so long as we don't lose sight of what's important.
Don't be afraid to seize that moment to talk to your friends.
Cloud, you okay?
Because checking in on a friend can create a safe space.
The first step on our new journey. You coming?
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Seize the awkward. It's totally worth it.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. The Windy City was busy this past weekend as the Bobcats headed to the Midwest for the Bradley Invitational. Bobcats started their weekend facing off against the UT Arlington Mavericks. Quinnipiac trailed early after dropping the first 2 sets. A dominant 25-12 win in the third set up momentum, but they dropped the fourth set 25-23. Just an hour later, Ben, the Bobcats were back in action. For the first time in program history, Quinnipiac faced off against Western Illinois. The Bobcats handled the Leathernecks, sweeping them in 3 straight sets. Alina Giacomini led QUs in kills with 15, and Yadber Ganesh and Vittoria Tonelli also had double-digit kills in the win.
The very next day, the Bobcats closed the Bradley Invitational against Bradley University. Quinnipiac dropped its second match of the season 1 set to 3. Despite the loss, Yadber Ganesh had an impressive 21 kills during the match. Her twin sister, Damla, also reached a special accomplishment, earning her 3,000th career assist, jumping into 3rd place all-time in program history. Quinnipiac finishes the Invitational 1-2. They will make the trip to Maryland to face Towson and Morgan State Invitational on Friday. The second year of the Nina Klein era saw some growing pains. A 2-16 season for the Quinnipiac field hockey team. How do the Bobcats stack up in the Big East preseason poll entering 2025? Quinnipiac was voted to place 7th in the Big East this season. This is the second year in a row the Bobcats have been picked to finish second to last in the conference. Number 11 ranked UConn and number 17 ranked Liberty sit on the top of the poll, with the Huskies receiving 6 first-place votes. Big East play starts on September 19th for QU.
One of the brightest parts of the 2024 season for Quinnipiac was first-year standout Francisca Escoyas. Returning for her sophomore year, Escoyas earned some extra preseason recognition. The Italian native was selected to the preseason All-Big East team. The defender led all Bobcats with 22 points last season, the highlight being a record-tying 4-goal performance against Merrimack. Her 10 goals were the most in a single season for a Quinnipiac player since 2021. Nina Klein and the Bobcats took the bus up to Worcester for their first game of the season against the Holy Cross Crusaders. The Bobcats took a back-and-forth game 2-1 to start their season off hot. Both teams scored in the first quarter, but Francisca Escoyes would respond in the fourth quarter to propel Quinnipiac to victory. Quinnipiac outshot Holy Cross 18-12, while Cameron Brower and new first-year Rosemargin Van Koolen picked up assists for the Bobcats. Just a couple of days later, Quinnipiac would head home to play Bucknell Bison. It's a Bobcat Bison battle as Quinnipiac field hockey is back in Hamden. Quinnipiac coming off a win versus Holy Cross to look to go 2-0 for the first time since 2012. Into first, Francisca Escoyes sends one a mile high towards the cage. Looks like we're on the diamond because Rosemargin Van Koolen tries to slam this one home, but Sarah House denies it. Into the second quarter, Bucknell gets their first penalty corner of the game as Kira Leclerc shoots, but Christina Torres is there to make the save and keep this game scoreless. Later in the quarter, Escoyes is back again. Her shot into the circle, deflected by Mo Quell, just goes wide left of the cage. We are scoreless going into halftime. A couple minutes after halftime, though, look at the setup by the Bobcats. It goes Brower to Van Koolen, then to Shanahan, all the way over to Escoyes, will make her move to the cage, and her shot goes wide, but Lauren Keith is there to pick it up and tip it in. Took 36 minutes for our first goal, but the seal is broken. Heading into the fourth, the Bobcats aren't holding up. Van Wensen will set up the pass for Shanahan, who steps up, sends it into the circle. It will find the stick of Van Koolen, who hits it on the backhand out of the air into the cage. Her first career goal as a Bobcat. Her teammates so happy to see it for her. One last chance for Quinnipiac to add on as the Bobcats set up the penalty corner in a masterful way. But Sarah House says not today. The sliding save. Ultimately, that would be all she wrote, though. Quinnipiac moves to 2-0 for the first time in 13 years. The Quinnipiac defense, 1 goal through the first 2 games. They'll travel to Orono, Maine on Friday to play the Maine Black Bears.
Things are clicking for that Quinnipiac field hockey team, Spencer. Like you mentioned, first time since 2012 that the Bobcats have won their first 2 games of the season.
Q30's Brittany Brown-Liebman has a look inside the Bobcats' early season success.
On Sunday, the Quinnipiac Bobcats defeated the Bucknell Bison with a score of 2-0. The Bobcats moved to 2-0 on the season, which is the best record for the first time since 2012.
I didn't know what year it was, and that statistic is pretty insane, but it's just a true testament to the buy-in that we have with this team. We really raised the standards over the off season in terms of what we were doing from a fitness and conditioning standpoint, and it's really just a testament to all the hard work of our athletes. And I'm so grateful for how they showed up today. They have a great deal of energy, and the intention was there, and it really, getting a shutout also at home for the first time was awesome. So really just proud of the team, and we're going to rest up and really train hard this week.
With this win, the Bobcats tied their winnings from last season. The Bobcats' struggling points from last season was having multiple players being able to score. So far this season, the Bobcats have had 3 different scorers of 4 goals. Redshirt junior midfielder Lauren Keat scored her first goal of the season in today's matchup and talked how the offseason helped them prepare.
It just feels so good, honestly. We have been working so hard for this, and through the spring, last fall, we have just been working so hard, and there's just so much fight in this team that we were able to pull it off, and it makes us just really excited for the rest of the season.
The Bobcats look to continue this momentum moving into their next game on Friday at Maine. Reporting for Q30 Sports, I'm Brittany Brown-Liebman.
A 1-4 conference start in 2024 made things look bleak for the Quinnipiac men's soccer team. But a 3-game winning streak at the end of the regular season helped them secure a playoff appearance. Where did the Bobcats place going into 2025? Quinnipiac was selected to finish 4th in the MAC preseason poll. 18 players return as the Bobcats look to make the playoffs in back-to-back seasons. The Iona Gales were picked as the preseason favorites, securing 8 of 13 votes. The Bobcats conference slate kicks off on September 20th against Marist. After dropping the first game of the season to number 7 Pitt, the Quinnipiac men's soccer team made the trip up to Amherst to play the Minutemen on Thursday.
Big matchup. Could the Bobcats secure win number 1 of the young season?
Let's find out. A matchup A first time for these two programs matching up on the men's soccer side, and UMass gets things going early. Shane Velez dumps the ball just behind Quinnipiac's defensive line, setting up John Paul Mabuthia for the Minutemen's first score of the day. 1-0 early, Spencer.
Mabuthia is really happy the Minutemen are on the board. UMass's Thomas Wattis sends a long ball just before the half to Ivan Ver, who volleys the ball just over Emilio Badarama's head to secure a 2-point lead for the Minutemen. Looked like a rainbow there, Ben.
Yeah, look at that shot. And UMass not putting the foot off the gas. An outside touch assist from Ver gives Velez a chance at the top of the box, and he scores. UMass just hitting on all cylinders right now. 3-0 the score.
Mabuthia gets crowded in the box, back pass to Velez for some relief, and he's going to lay one perfectly in the top right corner. UMass has a dominant 4-0 lead over the Bobcats.
It's just Mabuthia's day. He's going to get another one. Bobcats come in a foul in the box and off the penalty kick. That makes it 5-0. Bobcats need goals, Spencer, and they need them fast.
Finally, though, there's a scoring chance. Luke Schierenbeck off the penalty kick pockets it past UMass's Alex Gexey. The Bobcats are on the board. UMass, however, still has that 5-1 advantage.
Oh, Spencer, what's better than one?
Possibly two.
How about two for Schierenbeck here? He gets another one past Gexey, and that'll make it 5-2, but the score would stand pat, side not on Quinnipiac's side. 5-2, UMass getting their first win of the season. Bobcats still punting for that elusive first win of the campaign. And just like that, it's time to step aside for our last break of the night. But the show's not over yet. Q30's Beckett Calkins gives his insight on the upcoming week for the men's soccer team. Does he think they can get into the win column?
We'll have to see, Ben. And everyone's favorite part of the night. We'll give you our first fall edition of the top 5 plays. Folks, stay tuned.
Reporting from the Grove for Q30 News.
Reporting from the Miller Library for Q30 News.
Reporting from the Mount Carmel campus for Q30 News.
Reporting on Whitney Ave for Q30 News.
All right, look at you taking the stairs. Who are you?
We're your lungs. We are proud of you for quitting smoking, but you still may be at risk for lung cancer.
A routine cancer scan can detect it early when it's more curable. Good to know. Well, I gotta go somewhere.
So do we.
So do we.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Elmer loves to giggle. Elmer's mommy told him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back to Sports Paws, and thanks for sticking with us.
Q30's Beckett Calkins has some more on the Quinnipiac men's soccer team in the midst of a 4-game road stretch. They are visiting Stony Brook and Yale.
Thanks, guys. It hasn't been the start that the men's soccer team has wanted on the pitch, as they've started the season 0-2, but there have been some positive takeaways. First of all, they've shown that they can play with high-quality opponents. Opening the season on the road against 2 top 10 nationally ranked opponents in the preseason rankings. The Bobcats took on number 7 Pittsburgh on the road and played a full 90 minutes. Quinnipiac surrendered just 1 goal, losing 1-0, and they very well could have salvaged a draw. Then, as you just saw, the team took a trip up I-91 to face the University of Massachusetts Amherst, the preseason number 8 team. While they lost UMass 5-2, the team did get its first 2 goals of the season thanks to defenseman Luke Schierenbeck. Newcomer Taiga Matoba is the lone new face to start both games for the Bobcats, playing over 60 minutes in each. Sindri Sigurd-Johnson also is taking on a major role, starting against Pittsburgh and playing 98 minutes across the two contests. The team has 4 more games before MAC play begins on September 20th against Marist University. This week's slate includes a trip to Stony Brook to face the Seawolves, who are 1-1-1 on the season, but have notably faced 2 MAC opponents already, losing to Marist 1-0 and beating Sacred Heart 2-1. Last season, Stony Brook struggled mightily, winning just 3 games all year. Then, the Battle of Whitney Ave returns to the pitch as the Bobcats travel down the road to face the Yale Bulldogs. In last season's matchup, Yale came out on top, winning 2-1 in Hamden. Before last year, the two teams had not played since 2016. Quinnipiac will look to revive the rivalry on Friday in New Haven, where Zach Naffa and I will have you covered from the game. That's all I have from the Quinnipiac Soccer and Lacrosse Stadium. Back to the desk.
Great stuff as always, Beckett. And for more with that Yale matchup, you can follow Q30 Sports on X. A little bit of news on the ice this week. Incoming first-year Jade Barbarotti participated in the Four Nations event. Barbarotti scored 3 times in 3 games for France, and this wasn't her first appearance. For the French nations team, the incoming Bobcat played for Team France in 2023 Women's World Juniors. Barbarotti suits up as a Bobcat for the first time on September 26th against Maine.
Quinnipiac cross-country teams took their spikes to the road to Stony Brook to start their season. The men raced against 7 other teams where they placed 4th. Sophomore Alex Saldana, who was impressive for the Bobcats last year, finished first on the team in the 6K with a 1943. For the women, they continued their winning ways, taking home gold at Stony Brook. Rachel St. Germain and Sierra Gray practically raced side by side as they both ran a meets best 13:53 in the 4K. They'll have 2 weeks off before they travel to Montgomery, New York for the Jasper Classic.
The Quinnipiac rugby team looking to replicate a strong 4-0-2 start from last season. A tough task stood in their way, last year's NIRA championship runner-ups, the Dartmouth Big Green. Dartmouth handled its business at home, shutting out Quinnipiac 59-0. Marley Larkin was a force on the pitch, scoring 4 tries for the Big Green. 4 other players found the try zone for Dartmouth in the win. Next up for Quinnipiac, they return to Hamden for the home opener against the Brown Bears on September 6th. Now with that, that'll bring us to the conclusion of tonight's show. A big thanks to everyone working hard behind the
Whoa,
scenes.
Ben.
What?
As a great Lee Corso once said, not so fast, my friend. You forgot about the top 5 plays.
How could I?
Let's roll those clips.
Let's do it. Play number 5, Quinnipiac men's soccer taking on UMass. Simon Bakken scores his first assist of his career. Not enough for a Bobcats win, though.
Women's soccer versus Syracuse looks like trouble, but Gwen White, with her body on the line, makes the save with the shot to the gut. Stay put for play 3.
Yeah, let's do some more Gwen Hoyt saves here. Not a problem with her in the box here. She makes it look easy. We're going to get another look at this one, but Syracuse was just peppering her with shots all day, and she held pretty tall. A 1-1 tie for Quinnipiac and Syracuse.
Field hockey buck now. Rocket of an assist from Shanahan. Off the backhand, Rosemarjean Van Koolen gives the Bobcats a 2-0 win.
Play number 1. Got to go back to Syracuse Quinnipiac women's soccer. Madison Alves with a beauty of a volley into the back of the net. Her first of the season came out a big time. Like I mentioned, a tie game right there between Quinnipiac and Syracuse in their first ever meeting. Spencer, I gotta know, what sport do you think is gonna fly, has been flying under the radar so far, leading up to the season, that's just gonna take off once the season starts?
You know, the field hockey team has looked super impressive after their really slow start. They've already matched their win total from last season, just 2 games in. Big matchup against Maine this weekend, an America East opponent. They could win that. Stonehill's a very low-tier opponent. They could be 4-0, Ben.
That could be big. I think I have my eyes on the Quinnipiac women's soccer team. Another slow start, but after they had that 0-2-1 start last season, 11 straight wins. I think we could see something very similar from Clark's squad. But that officially brings us to the end of the show. Thank you for tuning into Sports Paws.
A huge shout out to all the producers and our wonderful production team for working hard behind the scenes. Make sure to follow us on X and Instagram at Q30 Sports for all updates in Quinnipiac sports. For Ben Rickevicius, I'm Spencer Decker. Happy Labor Day, and have a great rest of your week, Bobcats.